Well, welcome to today's show. We're going to try something I've personally never done before, which is to try to make some bread bowls. I'm going to put a little Italian spice in it to kind of give it a little bit of flavor based upon what we're going to put in the bowl. So the idea is just to make regular bread, make it a round lump, put it in the proofer, let it go ahead and proof up to first proof till it doubles in size, and then we'll take it out, divide it into two, do the second little bit of a knead to get it shaped up into proper portions, which will be basically a ball. Put it on the tray, put it back in the proofer, and then let it rise a second time. Then we're going to try out the new electric convection oven upstairs. So we're going to do that. I don't know if you need to see all of the kneading. It's not all that special, but we just knead it like any other bread, I'm assuming. And we're going to do that. We will need some 80-degree water, so we're going to have to try out the microwave over here, get it to 80 degrees, and I have my temperature taker just right here, and we'll set it up. And then I guess the next cut I'll go show you is the ingredients themselves, and then when we're moving over to the proofer at that stage, we'll cut out the kneading. That's nothing special about that. Well, here are our ingredients. We have 2 cups of flour and 1 egg. We'll have a half a cup of water. We'll have to heat it to 80 degrees. We have a little bit of Italian spice, some flour for the tablespoon of sugar, tablespoon of oil, rounded teaspoon of yeast, and of course a teaspoon of salt. Something to scrape with and mush with, and we also have a scraper that we'll use for the table, and a clean bowl to put it in, a little bit of oil, and of course we'll put it over there in the proofer, and I'm sure every one of you has a proofer like that at the house. All right, well, we got our 80-degree water right here. We have our yeast, which I hope is not dead. It's about 6 months old or so. We have our sugar here, our tablespoon of sugar, and I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. I'm gonna try to get this to dissolve. Give the yeast something to nosh on. Spill a little bit there, spill a little bit more there. And then I'll add the yeast, and we'll let the yeast wake up, see if it's going to wake up. And then we'll see, in a minute or two, we'll dump the rest of our salt and our oil in there, and then we'll start our dough making process. I like to mix my egg a little bit into the flour before I dump the liquid in, but you don't have to. And of course, the little bit of Italian seasoning in here, it's got a little fried garlic in it. We're going to dump it in there. And then we'll see you about the time we get the dough ball made. Well, I think it's probably kneaded well enough. What we're going to do is shape this into a ball and spray this small ball. I don't think I'll need a big one. I think I'll use a small bowl, and we'll put it in the proofer, and we'll let it double in size. And when it's finished, we should have a pretty smooth shape on the top when we ball it back up. All right, we've seen 90 minutes. Let's see if we proofed any. Yep. Well, we're going to take it out, divide it in half, and make 2 rolls, and then put it here back on the sheet, put it back in to proof again. All right, well, we've got our proofed dough out. What we'll do is we'll drop it here on the counter, cut it in half, make 2 balls, put them right here on the sheet. I like to use a little parchment paper, and we'll put it back in and let it proof, and then we'll take it out before we pop it in said brand new convection oven. Is we'll take and lame it at the top after we put a little egg wash on. But we're going to do just regular old bread, which is what this is. Now, if you wanted a stiffer bread, leave the egg out because the egg helps make it soft. If you want something more like a hard, crusty bread, you might do something like that. So anyway, we're going to do that, and the next thing you'll see is getting ready to go into the proofer again. Now we have our two balls. We're just going to ball them up, put them on there. I don't know that you need to see that. You got a pretty good idea what that's going to be. But we got our two pieces, and there we go from here. Well, I think they look about right. Look at the texture of the dough ball after they have proofed one time. Again, we're getting ready to pop them in there, and that'll be it. All right, here is our bread dough in said proofer, and we're going to pull it out, egg wash it, lame it, and pop it in the oven. What do you think? Well, here you can see we've pulled them out of the proofer, and they're speckled nice with that Italian herb I put in there. And there's a little egg wash. I did use a whole egg with a little bit of water in it to thin it so it wouldn't be too brown. Still give us hopefully that glossy look. We're going to egg wash it, take the lame to it, pop it in the oven. If you like this content, please go to calldeltosell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you. Thank you. Well, we've got that done. Next thing we knew, we'll just use a lame. Now, a lame is just I guess the TV term for the razor blade, but we'll just cut it. That ought to be good. Got a little corner there I want to pull out. All right, make that pretty. Now they're going to go in there. I tell you what I might do. I might put a little bit of kosher salt on the top of it. What do you think? Well, we've got it in there. It's working. We'll pull it out here in about 20 minutes. We've got it in there. If you'll notice, though, in the recipe I did as I made it, it's the basic bread recipe. And you can add egg to it if you want a little structure, you want a little softer. You can add milk to it. That'll also help it. Whole milk works better than light milk or thin milk, whatever you want to call it, skim milk. 2%. So the more fat you have in the milk, the better off it will often be if you want a nice soft bread. I thought if these are going to be, if I'm going to try to make bowls to put a little soup in, a little chowder or something like that in, I might want it to be a little stiffer, but yet I'm not a big fan of that hard bread that you often get when you make a bowl. So we'll see you in a few minutes. Well, this is just a serving suggestion because it's dinner tonight. We have our little bread. I did cut our top out so you could see the texture of the bread. And I'm going to put it over here, tear this into pieces and dip it into this extra virgin olive oil, a little salt and balsamic vinegar, little Italian herbs in there. And we have our little bowl. We're going to just ladle a little of that right off in there, and we'll have dinner for tonight. Thank you for watching.